Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Zero.3 channel. And today we got more leaks for you guys. There's a lot of leaks for some reason. I guess a lot of shoes are going to be coming out. So let's get it started off right away with the Curry 304. So shout out to the basketball shoes, Street Boys, Sneaker Highway 23, Kicks R Us, all the Instagram sneaker leakers. I guess that's what we'll call them, right? So all of them are saying this is the Curry 304 and not the Curry 8. You know, the shoe that I did with the weird logo and it looks kind of funny. So I'm guessing this is the 304. And we have a picture of the traction and another colorway. We got some segmenting in the forefoot as well as in the heel, you know, with some like straight lines. And then it looks like some, I guess, wavy lines. And the traction looks pretty good, pretty promising. It is very close together, so that does worry me because it might trap dust. But other than that, I mean, the gum outsole, it looks good. And we have this other black colorway with this like tie-dye black, white, and yellow outsole. I don't know guys, still don't really like it too much. I also don't really understand the logo change. I don't really like it as much. And a lot of you guys said the older logo looked better. It still says Curry here on the tongue. And on this black colorway, it looks like it's all leather. Also, another rumor is that the Pop Nike Kobe 6 is the latest colorway to release as a retro for 2021. This colorway is dope, and I'm very excited about the Kobe 6. I did an entire video on that, just a little update on another colorway that's rumored to be releasing. And then, as far as the Zoom Freak 2s go, we know what the outsole looks like. And also we have a lot more detailed pictures of the shoe from like different angles. So here is a picture of the outsole and it looks... So there's a pivot point, you know, where the ball of your foot is, and it kind of like circles out. You know, like pretty typical. We've seen this traction pattern a lot. And then as it goes into the lateral side, it kind of like separates and it looks more serrated, you know, it looks like just nubs, I guess. And then if you go into the toe area, it's more just lines. So I don't know, hopefully it's better than the Zoom Freak ones. The Zoom Freak one traction was not good on dust. It was a good traction on the clean court though, a pretty hard bite and all that, but on dust it was pretty bad. And durability wasn't very good, you know, like the translucent part, you know, where the rose pattern was, it was very nice, but where like the herringbone pattern was, it was very soft rubber. So we'll have to see on that. And then we have a very close look at the heel part. So the heel part, it says Giannis, and I think these are his brother's names. So yeah, very thick lines. So durability seems like it's gonna be good. Literally, it's just a storytelling traction here in the heel, and then of course it's heavily decoupled, and not a huge fan of that. It reminds me of the One Take a little bit like that, you know, just a little bit. Hopefully they're using a midfoot shank. And then here in the insole it says I am my father's legacy, and then there's his logo, and then we can see his logo again here in the heel with this like leather, like it's probably a synthetic leather, and then it says freak here in the heel. I don't know, it looks too cheesy. I don't like it. It says freak with a weird font here in the heel, and then of course like we said, the heel part looks like the PG1 midsole, right? And then it says freak with a Nike check mark here in the tongue with like it's probably just like a synthetic leather. And then we get a closer look at the swoosh and the plastic lateral piece. You know, like these green parts? It looks plastic. It looks more flush with the shoe and the overall midsole than I thought. Yeah, and this also says Air Zoom. So it says Air Zoom here in the forefoot as well as on the medial side. So I'm guessing a zoom in the heel as well as in forefoot, which is pretty nice. But I'm guessing the midsole is going to be stiff, like in the Zoom Freak one. The Zoom Freak one, the foam was very stiff. And then we can see the swoosh. It looks like a synthetic leather, not a very nice material. And then it's stitched, you know, so it's stitched down here on the bottom of the swoosh. So it's not gonna move around, but on the top of the swoosh, it looks like it's not. They went for that like off-white, very big swoosh look, you know? And then from like the top of the shoe, we can see the material, and this material has some like feathers or something on it with this colorway. And it looks like a pretty nice material, I would say. It's like a textile. And then we got some fuse on the medial side of the shoe, which is weird. Why would you, when you're like doing a toe drag, why would you do it like this? I don't think anyone does it like this. It's usually like this. So I mean, like you would probably want fuse more here in the front, right? But then this is more just on the medial side, which is kind of weird. And then we can see the medial side. So it says 34 on this like synthetic piece. I don't know how I feel about that because you really don't need like lateral support or anything on the medial side. It's just a waste of like materials and it adds weight. There's a swoosh that's stitched on. I don't know, this shoe looks very like cheesy to me. You know, with the number, it says freak here in the heel. And the lateral side, I don't know. Hopefully with different colorways, it'll grow on me, but I still don't like it. And I hate this colorway. Not a fan at all. And then we have a fresh new look at the KD Tray 5.9. We just got the KD Tray 5.8. I don't know if you guys can see it. But this is a new shoe. It just came out, right? Like a month ago? 2 months ago, I don't really know how long it's been, but then they already have a Tray 5.9. What if this is a KD 14? No, it's not. The only guess I have is that this is like a new KD model, maybe like a new line, because he's not Tray 5 anymore. Or maybe it's his new line. This is the Tray 5, 35, right? KD's not 35 anymore. I believe he changed his number. I forgot what his number was, but maybe it's his new budget line. Or maybe they're doing something like LeBron's ambassador line, where this is only going to be overseas. I don't know, but it looks pretty nice. We can see KD's logo. It looks like a plastic emblem here in the heel on the lateral side. And then that midsole looks thick. You know, hopefully they're using a nice midsole like React or like Lunar Lawn or something, but I doubt it. And here it looks to say, I can't really tell, but it might say zoom here on the lateral side. In the toe area, so I'm guessing maybe like a 4-foot zoom unit. You can see a Nike swoosh, and the materials look to be like a weave of some sort, more like a textile material. And then there is a very large, very pronounced heel tab, which I like, and it looks like a low, maybe a low mid, but I actually really like how the shoe looks. And also we got some more colorways of the D Rose 11 in this like gray digi camo colorway with some like Volt green and a bread colorway. It looks to have a translucent outsole on this bread color, which I'm not a fan of, but I like the bread colorway. We also have this leak. We've been seeing this shoe a lot, and I have no idea what it is. Is it a running shoe? I don't know, but we just saw some leaks, and there's the zoom unit looks insane. Look at that heel. It's double stacked, and with this, like, it's probably just plastic. It looks like there's no midsole. It looks like it's just all plastic. So I don't know how I feel about that. And then in the 4-foot, I don't know, the zoom setup looks insane. And then we got some more colorways of the Dong Issue 2. And this looks like just some basic colorways, you know, like the team colorways that they do with like solid colors. Like Eastbay does that a lot, where they just have a whole bunch of team colorways of each shoe. So it looks like that's what they were doing here. And it looks a lot better, I would say, just from these colorways. I still don't really like that midfoot part with that like bulging thing. But other than that, it's not a bad looking shoe anymore. I think it grew on me a little bit. Next, we have the Not Zer0.3 SE. So apparently this is, I mean, the midsole and the outsole looks exactly the same as 0.3, but with a different upper, and the upper looks a lot nicer. I mean, it looks, I don't know why, but it looks like a knit. You know, especially here in the midfoot area, but then when you zoom in, it looks more like a netting, like a netted mesh. This shoe doesn't look finished to me for some reason, but then there's a lot of like flywire cables, but they're not flywire cables kind of, because they're not thin like flywire used to be. They're super thick. They're like as thick as a shoelace, which is interesting. So we have 2 of those here in the 4-foot and 1 of those here in the heel. But you know, if they're using a nicer material, that's nice, because the 0.3, I mean, the materials weren't bad. They were pretty thin, it was soft, you know, it conforms to your foot pretty well. So it felt pretty good when you're playing it, but if it's a knit material, hopefully it feels nicer and more premium. Next, we got the Hovr Havoc 3. I mean, the Hovr Havoc's been pretty nice, and it's kind of like their Hyperdunk, like what the Hyperdunk was to Nike. You know, the Hovr Havoc line is to Under Armour, so it's kind of like their team ball shoe, and it's not looking that bad. It looks like they're using Hovr again, which is nice. Hovr's nice, but not in their ball shoes. But this netting, you know, that net mesh thing that they put over the Hovr cushioning, it looks, well, the pattern looks a little bit different, and I'm hoping that it's soft. I hope it's soft, because it hasn't been nice, you know, like I just said. The traction looks to be a, you know, modified herringbone pattern, and then they're using a lot of fuse in the toe area. Underneath the fuse, it looks like a mesh material, and it also looks to have a very pronounced heel tab, which I like. And I really like how the shoe looks for some reason. Like, it doesn't look bad. I feel like Under Armour did a pretty good job designing this. But yeah, that about wraps it up for leaks. So tell us what you guys are excited about down in the comment section below. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.